to delete some stuff so I could continue recording. So prime example, I went and I've had a friend of mine with me as well. We went together, we were reading their lease, and their lease on their car. And I was reading it, and the APR was really high. If you don't know what an APR is, it is an average rate percentage, I believe, like an interest rate, to know how much you're going to be paying towards your principal, which we'll cover on in a later video. So basically that happened to a friend of mine. Thank God we read it, we caught it, so they didn't have to pay like 10%, I think it was, which was really, really high for the type of car it was 2012. You should not be paying that high of a percentage if your car is that old. So yeah, that happened. And then the next thing that I wanted to say with my leasing agency, like where I was leasing through prior, when I read documentation, they've messed up the amount that was on the actual email for the welcome letter that they sent me, and it wasn't the actual what they put in the documentation. And I was like, no, you need to fix that. And yes, people are gonna get annoyed, people are gonna not like that, but guess what, you're making sure that you're straight, your bag is secured, and that nobody's messing you over, and that's on what period. All right, so anyways, want to make sure that your stuff is good. Sorry, I got on pajama pants. But yeah, so you want to make sure that's right. So now let's keep up to speed. So we got our renters and I didn't even get to renters insurance. I'm gonna get to that, sorry, going ahead of myself. So we've paid the admin fee, we've read our lease, right? We paid the admin fee, read the lease, read the welcome letter, checked the apartment, liked the apartment, took pictures, made sure that everything was intact, got pest control, got our amenities covered, know what we're paying for and everything like that. So now the next thing to do is they're gonna send you an email first before you even get the lease. But there's two options that you could do, and they don't want you to know this, but when you read, amazing things can happen, honey. Make sure that you're reading, because when you're reading, they got stuff in there that you won't even know that's on there. So in the emails that they send you, it'll give you an option, like a leasing agent is going to tell you, oh, you need to sign it, you need to sign it. My mom used to be a property manager, that's how I know a lot of this stuff too, and then just common knowledge. But you make sure that you are you're reading thoroughly what they're saying in the welcome letter, because a lot of times what the lease will say is you can either go, I don't know about now because COVID, but you can go and you can opt to get a hard copy, which I suggest to anybody that's watching my videos. Make sure you get a hard copy of your lease to make sure that you can highlight, have everything on document. So if they try to hit you with some fugazi stuff, then you could be like, no, right here, this is what it says, and I'm gonna need y'all to do this because this is what you put in, this is our binding agreement, by law you're required to do this. So yeah, obviously don't be that mean, but like, you know what I'm saying. So getting more into depth, now we got everything covered and everything like that. So you ask for that, and anything you sign, make sure you get a copy of it, have a hard copy, have all your documents on file, make sure you have everything accessible that you need and where you need it to be. So now we're up to speed with everything. So then they give you, if you move in the middle of the month, you get a prorated amount. If you move in the beginning of the month, you pay what your rent would be for the whole term of the lease. If you move in towards the end of the month, they're supposed to give you a prorated amount because you're not living in there, which a prorated amount is basically an estimate of what you're paying within that time of when you're going to be in the apartment. So prime example, let's say I move in on the 12th of December, right? So I'm moving on the 12th of December. They're going to prorate me December 13th, well, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, and so on up until January 1st. January 1st's rent is going to be completely different from the prorate because the prorate is different from your actual, what you signed in the lease. That's why you have to read it. So now we're up to speed with everything on that. Now there's going to be a price that you have to get. So once you get everything together, you're gonna have to pay an admin fee depending on where you live if you didn't already put a security deposit. And a security deposit is just to secure that anything of damages of the property or you break your lease, they put that money towards that, pretty much. And where you can get the cash from, you can't pay in cash to a leasing agency. I don't know if they do that, maybe with like a landlord, but I'm not 100% sure with like actual like apartment complexes and stuff. You usually would have to get a money order, and money orders you can either get through Western Union, Publix. If you're using a card, they are going to charge you 99 cents. If you use cash, you won't get charged the 99 cents, it'll just be the full amount. And then you can also go through your bank, depending on what bank you have. So you can go about it that way. So now we got our payment, we got our apartment, we got all this stuff. But honey, before you move in, or girl or guy, before you move in, a lot of apartments, what they want to make sure is your water is turned on, your light is turned on, depending if they include it in the rent or not. You have to check for that too when you read your lease. So you get the water turned on and electricity turned on, because a lot of places won't let you move in until you have it turned on and you send it over. So once that's turned on, you have that. And there is a key point of what I forgot to mention. When they're doing the credit check and everything, and I should have said this earlier, if you made it this far, you were real one. But the main thing that you're gonna have to provide proof before you even give them the money order and everything is show proof of employment. You're gonna need at least 3 pay stubs. If you're working bi-weekly, you'll have to show proof of employment, 3 pay stubs from your employer to make sure that you actually cover the rent. And if it's I believe if you're working and get paid weekly, you got to show 4 proofs of pay stubs to show that you're getting consistent income and that it's enough to cover your base rent. So now back to speed where we are, because I feel like I'm dragging this video, but I'm trying to make it really informative, because a lot of this stuff I didn't know, I had to learn as I go. So why not help somebody that doesn't know what to do? And I don't want to be one of those people that's like, oh, I'm probably going to be one of those people that's like, oh, this is my apartment tour, but I want you guys to know how to actually get to the point of where I got to too, because why not? I don't have nothing to hold back from nobody. So yeah, so basically that's what you'll have to do. Show the proof of pay stubs, build the established credits. If you don't have credit, if you do not have credit and your credit is not built up, what you can do is get a co-signer, but that's a little risque, because some people don't want you to be on their credit, because God forbid there's damages in the apartment, then they're the ones who have to cover that, not you, because they're the one who's on the credited account. You will too, but their credit's gonna take the hit, not you. So yeah, so you could do the co-signing route if you don't have enough to cover the income and you're just trying to hurry up and get out. And then once you do that, we've checked our apartment, we paid the admin fees, they took the credit score, they did the soft credit check, you have your electricity set up, you have your water set up, you asked about pest control, you asked about amenities, you took pictures, checked the unit, inspected, everything like that. The final thing that I would suggest to anyone, a lot of apartments don't require it, but in certain states like California, Georgia, and I think a couple other states, they require you to have renter's insurance, which even if your state does not require you to have it, I 100% suggest that you get it, because being in a situation as to where I've had to have damages on like one of my apartments that I've lived in like years ago, is highly recommended, because it will save you in the end, and it's like $11 added to your rent, which is not a lot depending on who you are. And if you get renter's insurance through your actual policy for your car insurance, then it can be cheaper than what you actually pay, because you're getting 2 insurances through them. So look into that. I'm Kayla. This was my video. This is Adulting with Kay. That's what I'm calling this series, Adulting with Kay. I hope you guys liked this video. If it was informative, please, 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 I just ask that you just give it a like. It doesn't cost anything to just like. Look at Winter. So yeah, it doesn't cost anything to just like this video. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe and share. It'll mean a lot to me, and I really appreciate it if you made it this far. Bye.